Did you know that the Bible speaks more about an abusive wife than an abusive husband? We hear so much about the narcissistic, manipulative, controlling, abusive men towards women, and my heart goes out to all those girls that are in those relationships. But what about the woman that verbally rips apart her man on a daily basis? Disrespectful, nagging, criticizing, yelling. The Bible has a term for this. It's called a contentious wife, and she is more annoying than a constantly dripping, leaky faucet. It says a man would rather live on the corner of a rooftop than share a house with her. It's that bad. Listen, we've all been her at some point, but awareness is the first step, and you cannot let her take over your mouth and your relationship. You have the power to speak life over your man in a way that nobody else can.
One of the times when we were talking, one of the things that was brought up is I brought up about how my wife at that time had physically abused me. Now, some of y'all say, how does big old man gonna be abused by his wife? Well, the reason why that can happen, and it happens because if a wife wants to be abusive to her husband, if that husband wants to stop that or to meet that woman abuse with force or with rejection, that could turn into a real problem because a man is stronger than a woman. He is. So you can say, well, if you're going to hit me, I'm going to hit you. Well, that's going to be a problem because your hitting usually is going to be a lot harder than hers. And so what I just decided to do, I'm not going to hit back. I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to guard myself, try to get away from her, whatever the case may be. Now, try to redirect, to turn around that way. But even in that, there's a lot of women that will try to manipulate that and say, oh, he did this and did. All they trying to do is redirect. No, baby, you cannot hit me with that. Nope, you need to. So I was going through some of that. And this group that I was with, this men's group, they told me flat out, some of them just said, I wouldn't be putting up with that. But others said, you need to call the police. Now, some, I think actually said, you need to divorce her, you need to get out of that. She can't do that. Others said, you need to call the police. Now, here's the deal. I decided not to do the one with the divorce or to leave her because from what I had read in the Bible, there's no premise where I can divorce her because of abuse. Okay? No. Now, I can protect myself. But I can't divorce her, according to the Bible. But what I can do, because it's within the laws of the land, and God does not like no abuse. I don't like nobody being abused. Okay? That's irreverent for a woman to be abusive. It's not self-control. It's not pure. That's not kind. It's not respecting your husband. So the laws of this land, okay, says that guess what? If you do the crime of abuse, you can go to jail. And so initially I wasn't open to it, but after I saw, hey, this person tripping. This person tripping. I said, you know what, man, I'm about to call the police. I'm tired of this. And so I called the police. I sure did. I called the police. And the police came. And if it was not for me vouching for her and really lied, I lied. And I shouldn't have lied. I shouldn't have lied. Sometimes you just, look, I won't even say sometimes. You got to let the course be the course. You got to let the course be the course. Now, can I vouch for her and not agree to testify or whatever? Yeah, I can do that. But don't lie. But I lied, and they kind of gave her a warning or whatever. Well, some of them was trying to take her to the side to find out if I did something to her. Man, no. I'm not that stupid. No, sir. I'm not putting no hands on nobody. So they took her to the side, talked to her and everything. And they saw, no, this man ain't did nothing. But they did see something was wrong with me. But I, lied and covered it up, what have you. And so they didn't take her. Now, that child wasn't even repentant after that happened. Well, I was the devil after that happened. And that lady, she never forgot it. She never forgave me for that. But you know what did happen? For years, I did not have to deal with no physical abuse from this lady. Did not. Now, the verbal abuse, all the other stuff, all the other abuse, and I'm talking about verbal abuse. I'm talking about real verbal abuse. Some people try to say verbal abuse, and it's not verbal abuse. Verbal abuse is when the Bible talks about I think it's Ephesians 4, and it says, don't let any corrupt or abusive language proceed out of your mouth. And it was talking when you're talking to other believers and other Christians and other people